Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I just finished making a video about the major Chicago theming with this year's Super Bowl because it's the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era, which began with Super Bowl 5. So, again, to be clear, Super Bowl 50 is the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. The first four Super Bowls were played when the AFL and NFL had not merged. For the fifth Super Bowl, they had merged to become one league. That was the first Super Bowl of the modern era. This is the 46th. And the number 46 corresponds with Chicago, which has gematria of 46. This past season, we're still finishing it up, the Super Bowls to come, but the beginning of the season began with the NFL draft in the spring of 2015. That was the first NFL draft in Chicago since 1964, and it's been announced that they're going to have the draft in Chicago again, encapsulating this season. Prior to last year, the draft had not been in Chicago since 64. And in a second, I want to reveal the importance of 46 and 64. And we're also going to talk about the Chicago mayor, Rahm Emanuel, how he factors in, and how the Zionist Jews, which Rahm Emanuel is, operate out of Chicago, and how they are the entity that controls the NFL, controls the media, and a whole lot more, and are those who are responsible for provoking the race war that is being provoked right now in the media. As I said months ago, the Super Bowl that made the most sense at this period of time was the white Denver Broncos and the black Carolina Panthers. So check this out, Truth Seeker, in case you missed the last video. Chicago, gematria 46. This year, the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. Chicago hosting the NFL draft for the first time in more than 50 years. The final game of the championship round was played between the Carolina Panthers and Arizona Cardinals, both teams having Chicago connections. The Cardinals, originally from Chicago. The Panthers, coached by Ron Rivera, that was a member of the '85 Bears that went 15-1 and won the Super Bowl 46-10 over the Patriots with the revolutionary 4-6 defense. He now coaches the Carolina Panthers that went 15-1 this season. This game yesterday started at 6:40, a lot like 64. The final score summed to 64. And when I saw that final sum, it reminded me of some things. Barack Hussein Obama equals 64. The 44th president, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act of 1964, civil rights in gematria equals 64. And just in case you don't trust my math, let me just show you this here. Barack Hussein Obama, 64. Civil rights, 64. The people who operate by the numerology and gematria code are the Masons and the Zionist Jews, who might as well be one and the same. This year, the Super Bowl will be at Levi's Stadium, which has gematria of 46, perfect for the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. San Francisco equals 50, so does Super Bowl. San Francisco is hosting Super Bowl 50. With the S exceptions, it also sums to 64, the reflection of 46. And with just the singular S exception for the capital S, it equals 55. That's interesting because the Broncos are in their 55th year of existence. Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, is 55 years old. Rahm Emanuel's birthday, Truth Seeker, is November 29th, 1959, a date with a life lesson number of 64, which is interesting because his middle name is Israel. Rahm Israel Emanuel. Israel has gematria of 64, just like Zion, as in Zionism, just like Thelema, the occult religion that worships the number 93. Very strong ties between Thelema and Zionism. The saying in Thelema is, do what thou wilt, meaning do whatever you want. Gematria of 64. And these Zionist Jews, they treat the people of this world in this fashion, lying to them daily with their media, scaring them needlessly, giving them fake sports games that are rigged by the numbers. This is how they operate. Rahm Emanuel's birthday is the anniversary date of the recognition of Israel as a state. Israel was recognized as a state November 29th, 1947 by a 33-member vote by the United Nations. The United Nations is nothing more than a Masonic Zionist front. November 29th is the 333rd day of the year, 333, recognized by a 33-member vote. Here he is, the little Zionist scum, the little divider. Look at his name in English gematria. No coincidence. Rahm Emanuel, 666. Currently 55 years old. So let's go back, Truth Seeker. Right here was a bizarre news story from October 2015. This story clued me into the fact that the Broncos might be in the Super Bowl, but it also concerned me because this story is all about foreshadowing death. This year, the Super Bowl is on February 7th, the 38th day of the year. The word death has a gematria of 38. Colorado happens to be the 38th state, also having gematria of 38. This number shows up so often around death 38 that it is undeniable. I have hundreds of videos on this. Almost every celebrity you've heard about passing since New Year's Eve up to the present has the number 38 coded on them. Also, a number that shows up a lot around death is 27, a lot like 2/7 for February 7th, the 38th day of the year. And this story is about a dead body showing up on a freeway sign from a car accident. A bogus story, no doubt a lie. This story happened outside of Glendale, California. Glendale's the home of a massive cemetery that has many famous people buried in it. Walt Disney and a million more. Notice the exit number down here for the sign, 142. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Truth Seeker, but all of these racially charged stories of shootings of black youth by white police officers, those stories are coming to an head, and it's going to be the assassination of the 44th President Barack Hussein Obama. And I really think this is what this is symbolizing here. The two most famous civil rights leaders in this nation that were black were Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Malcolm X died on a date with a life lesson number of 44. His assassin got 44 years in prison. His assassin, Thomas Hagen, even has name gematria of 44. Martin Luther King Jr. died on 4/4, April 4th. The word kill equals 44. His assassin would die on a date with a numerology of 144, connected to both 44 and April 4th. Notice this exit sign, 142. This connects to Barack Obama, the 44th president. Get this, Truth Seeker. When you write out 42, it sums to 142. 42 is a number negatively stamped on black Americans. February is the only month with gematria of 142, Black History Month. Notice that President Obama equals 142, just like 42. And with regards to February, the month of the Super Bowl, it has gematria of 42. No other month does. So does the most hateful word for black Americans, 42. I want you to see this word broken down as well. Notice how within it, N becomes the 5. N's the 14th letter, 1 plus 4 equals 5. I is the 9th letter. E is the 5th letter. R is the 18th. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. 59 is another number negatively stamped on black Americans again and again. Show you why that's important in just a moment. Obama, he's the 44th president, but he's the 43rd man to be president. That's because Grover Cleveland was the 22nd and 24th president, one man representing two numbers because he had a split term. So Obama, the 43rd man to be president, he gave his acceptance speech in Chicago, the land of Abraham Lincoln, the first president to be assassinated, on a date with 43 numerology, November 4th, 2008, in Grant Park, which also has gematria of 43. With regards to Abraham Lincoln, he's the president who oversaw the Civil War. Civil War equals 43. Charleston equals 43, where the Civil War began. Massacre equals 43. When you write out 43, it connects back to 59, the number negatively stamped on black Americans. Motown Records came out in 59. So much more. This year, Obama went to a contrived funeral, a fake funeral for 9 people who didn't die. The most famous of those people was the Senator Clementa Pinckney, who before he died was talking about how his government needed to provide more funding for police and cameras for security, part of the post 9/11 agenda. Anyhow, where he died, Charleston, where the Civil War began, has gematria 43. The name Pinckney also has gematria 43, and if you trace this name back in history, it traces back to the original governorship of the Carolinas. Think about the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. Pinckney died exactly 43 days before his 42nd birthday. You see this? Obama went there 9 days after the shooting for the funeral of 9 people. The next president to die in office will be the 9th. The first president to die in office was William Henry Harrison, the 9th president. The last was JFK, the 44th term president. The next will likely be Obama, the 44th president. That 9th president, the first to die in office, died on 4/4, April 4th, 1 month into his term. Anyhow, Obama went down there and sang Amazing Grace, a song written by a slave trader, John Newton. Not to be confused with Huey P. Newton, the founder of the Black Panthers, or Cam Newton, the quarterback of the Black Panthers in Carolina. Anyhow, John Newton has an August 4th birthday, just like Obama. Obama in Jewish gematria equals 84. United States of America equals 84, another special number. John Newton would die at the age of 82 on 12/21, a date with a 33 connection. In the year 1807, 0 doesn't count in numerology, so that's 187, like the homicide code. Barack Hussein Obama equals 64 and 82 with the S exceptions. All of this stuff is cleverly thought out. Amazing Grace, they have Obama sing, this song connected to somebody who wrote it years ago in history that has connections to him. And all of this is the foreshadowing of what's to come in his scripted presidency, which ends with his fake assassination. It will be told to us in the mainstream that he died probably at the hands of some white supremacist, all for the sake of provoking the people. But what will have really have happened is he will have faked his death, as many before him have. The Zionists, the Masons, they operate by deception. Now get this, Truth Seeker. Here's something really interesting I just noticed. From the Super Bowl to March 24th, which is Peyton Manning's birthday, is a span of 46 days. Remember, this is the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era, the number that connects to Chicago, the Zionist Mecca, where the leader of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, was once viciously murdered, so we're told. Anyhow, that's also a span of 6 weeks and 4 days. 46 days or 6 weeks and 4 days. And because it's a leap year, this is going to be the 84th day of the year. These Zionists, these Masons, they love to do their evil deeds in the spring. I suspect that sometime after the Super Bowl, and before spring's over, we get the headline of Obama being killed or shot or whatever they're going to do. Some people think he's going to be shot and even come back to live. Also possible. That story would also provoke. Anyhow, the span of 46 days from the Super Bowl to this date, Manning's birthday, is very interesting. Because it's a leap year, it'll be the 84th day of the year. Manning will turn 40 on this day. 40 has a gematria of 84. All of this stuff that's waged against us is very cleverly thought out, and throughout history it has operated through riddles such as what I am exposing. I don't know for sure that Obama's going to be shot March 24th. It could happen sooner. It could happen later. February 13th is the 44th day of the year. Another date that's up on my radar. Lupercalia, the 44th day of the year, even has gematria 44. Again, 44 is the kill number. That's February 13th. Sometime after the Super Bowl, sometime before the end of the spring, fate is coming for Obama's fake character that he plays, Barack Hussein Obama, not even his real name. All part of the coded hoax that's upon us. And I've been telling everybody this since 2008. Just back then, I didn't know numerology and gematria, but I still saw what they were doing anyway. So this is what's up, Truth Seeker. These Zionists must be held accountable. People such as Rahm Emanuel and all the other who are responsible for this, they must get their justice. And I wish this message would go viral before this happens. My goal in all this has been to get out the word before it happens in hopes of stopping it. You know, that's still possible, but we have a long way to go. My videos are getting very small viewership. Of course, my videos are suppressed, but those of you who watch them and believe in my work, who trust my work, who know that it's right, you need to help me spread this message. It has to go viral. The people must know what kind of tyranny we live under. When you show them the truth as clearly as I do, for some people it's hard to digest at first, but with repetition, with seeing how it on goes, the truth becomes undeniable. Until next time, Truth Seeker.